Okay, so if you have not seen part 1 of this video, then I suggest you go watch that now. I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, if you want to find out what's going on in this video, then just go watch part 1, please. Anyway, let's begin. As soon as I arrive in the Hoenn region, I encounter the first new hoenn Pokemon, Poochyena. I think it looks cool, and seeing as it was the first ever hoenn Pokemon I've seen in person, I decided to catch it. Soon I meet Professor Birch, who introduces me to his daughter, May. Me and May have a battle of my Bulbasaur versus her new starter Pokemon, Trico. My Bulbasaur defeats her Trico, and we officially become rivals. And I decide to compete in the Hoenn League by earning all the badges in the Hoenn region. I end up capturing a Shroomish in Petalburg Woods. After earning my first gym badge, I end up encountering a wild Mudkip. Knowing that Mudkip is one of the starters of the Hoenn region, I decide to capture it. I also end up finding a Torchic that was abandoned by its trainer. It was tied up to a tree and looked injured. I help it, and it's healed at the Pokemon Center. Soon, I decide to capture the Torchic. During the battle for my 4th badge, my Mudkip evolves into Marshtomp, which allows me to win the battle. And my Poochyena evolves into Mightyena during the battle for my 5th badge. Doing some training after earning my 7th badge, my Shroomish has given me a powerful grass fighting type. My Marshtomp also evolves into Swampert. Soon I earn my final gym badge and get ready to compete in the Hoenn League. I do pretty well in the Hoenn League, but my win streak stops when I fight May. Soon we are both down to our last Pokemon, my Torchic and her Sceptile. Even with the type advantage, my Torchic is struggling and even evolves into Combustine during the battle, but it still loses anyway. And so, I'm kicked out of the Hoenn League. Soon, I head back to the Kanto region, where I hear about the Battle Frontier, a competition that's a bit like the Pokemon Leagues I've been through so far. So, I decide to leave my Breloom and Mightyena at Professor Oak's lab, so I can use some of my older Pokemon. While on my way there, however, I end up being jumped by a wild Ekans, but it's not just any ordinary Ekans, no, it's a shiny Ekans. Knowing how rare and cool shiny Pokemon are, I decide I really want to capture it. So my Butterfree takes it down in a battle, and I throw a Pokeball, and like that, I've caught my first ever shiny Pokemon. My first battle is against a guy called Noland, so I know he uses an Articuno, a legendary ice type, so I decide to bring my Typhlosion over. My Typhlosion puts up a really good fight and is able to win the battle. I end up going to get my 2nd Frontier symbol, and during the battle with the Frontier Brain, my Combustine evolves into Blaziken during the battle, which allows me to get the win. During the battle with Lucy to earn my luck symbol, I end up using my Ekans against her Viper. My Ekans is struggling at first, but evolves into Arbok, which allows me to get the win. Knowing that Spencer, the next Frontier Brain, uses some Grass-type Pokemon, I decide to bring over my Spearow, who I haven't actually used in a while. And during the battle, my Spearow evolves into Fearow. Okay, now I know a lot of my Pokemon have been evolving during these battles, but I promise this is the last time one of my Pokemon will evolve during these battles, okay? And during the battle with Annabelle, I use my Espeon against her Espeon, which is cool, I guess. Before my battle with Brandon, however, I end up transferring my Espeon back to the lab and find a Pokemon egg. I'm not sure what it is, but soon it hatches into a Magby. And after winning the battle frontier, I decide to go to the Sinnoh region, a completely new region. And once again I decide to start out fresh with Bulbasaur and Butterfree. However, Magby ends up sneaking on to the ship with me. My first capture in the Sinnoh region is actually a Bonairy. And after meeting Professor Rowan, I earned my first gym badge. And the gym is a rock-type gym. Why are so many of the first gyms rock types? It doesn't make sense. I actually end up capturing a Piplup, making it my first and only Sinnoh starter. Shortly after my Bonairy evolves while training, I end up capturing a wild Shinx, making it my first electric type since I caught Mareep back in the Johto region. And while doing some training, my Magby evolves into Magmar. And after earning my 5th badge, my Shinx evolves into Luxio. And before my battle with Volcana for my Beacon badge, my Luxio evolves into Luxray. Shortly before entering the Sinnoh League, I'm approached by a trainer who asks if he could trade his Electabuzz so it can access trade evolution. Remembering how my Haunter evolved into Gengar back in the Johto region through trade evolution, I accept and decide that I could trade my Magmar as well, and allowing it to evolve into Magmortar. And so I trade my Magmar for his Electabuzz, and as soon as it's traded, the trade evolution is active, and it evolves into Electivire. And so I trade it back for my Magmar, who's now a Magmortar. I send my Lopunny back to Professor Oak's lab as I end up capturing a Riolu that was abandoned by its trainer. I also end up sending Piplup back to Professor Oak's lab so I can use some of my old Pokemon in the Sinnoh League. In the first battle, I end up using my Gengar. In the second battle, I end up using my Ampharos. During the third battle, I use my Politoed. And before my 4th battle, I transfer over my Chikorita, who evolves into Bayleaf while battling Team Rocket. My Riolu even ends up evolving into Lucario. I also use my shiny Arbok and my really powerful Kingdra that was being trained by Dave. But during my 7th battle in the Sinnoh League, I end up losing, so rip. So, just like that, my Sinnoh journey is over. I send all my new Pokemon back to Professor Oak's lab. I also decide to leave my Kingdra at Professor, as it's been in training for so long, and it hasn't really had a chance to relax or spend time with its friends. So I decide that it's been training for too long, so it's now back at Professor Oak's lab with its friends. Okay guys, so that was part 2 of my Pokemon team. Next episode will be the final episode until a new region comes out, and in that episode I will be discussing Kalos, Alola, and Galar. You might have noticed that I didn't mention Unovia there, Gen 5, but Gen 5 sucks, and I don't like it, so I'm not going to go there. So yeah, and look out for part 3. Goodbye.